most redhead people are constantly rejected by the white community. There's so many jokes about it.
Yeah. And it's really black people actually the ones who put it into perspective. It's a form of colorism.
Yeah.
The hatred of red-haired people is a form of colorism, and it's the reason why redheads and black people get along so often.
Yeah.
I notice I'm using the term redhead a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like the word ginger. I've never liked it. I've always felt it's very odd, and it comes from ginger from Gilligan's Island,
yeah.
and then ginger spice. That's where it comes from. It's just one person's name. It's not like the ginger root is red.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's not like there's a ginger fruit or something that has red hair or has our tint out there. It's because there is a character named that, a sexy character from Gilligan's Island back in the 60s on color television. And then later, the Spice Girl, who I don't know if she actually is a natural redhead.
She's not. She's absolutely not. No.
Okay.
In her retirement, she's going back to like a light blonde hair color.
Okay. So like
Stolen Valor?
Stolen Valor. Well,
that's why she had the two blonde up front.
Got
so
it.
that you would be like, oh, well, she's not fully a
Got
redhead.
it.
Got it.
So in this, once red-haired people started getting accepted and feeling comfortable.
Yep.
Usually when white people feel comfortable, they immediately get they go wild, and they get kicked out of the cookout.
Exactly.
But in this case, redheads are like, oh my God, thank you so much. I've never had anyone be nice to me. And the reason why is because we stick out the most in the crowd.
Yeah.
And so if you go back to an elementary school, you have 30 white kids.
Yep.
The redhead is going to be the other. They're going to be ostracized. They're going to be scapegoated, and they're going to end up being the redheaded stepchild.
That's a term people use.
People use just about redheads.
Yeah.
I hate my red-haired stepchild.
Yeah.
Because the reason why that term exists is because it's very clear that your red-haired kid isn't yours.
Yeah.
That this is someone else's kid.
I think they used to say, like, I'll
raise.
beat you like a redheaded stepchild.
I'll beat you like a redheaded stepchild because the redheaded stepchild is the unloved one in the family.
Yeah.
So those things have always existed. And so, like, being a redhead growing up, I've always known because I've experienced otherism and I've experienced that you can arbitrarily be put outside of the in-group.
Yeah.
That there can be a core of people and that you will be placed at a different table. If you go back to middle school cafeterias, you can look around. I used to have a joke years ago about how do you get a Vietnamese guy, a Chinese guy, a Japanese guy, and a Korean guy to sit together at a table. Put them in an American high school.
Yeah.
It's just the Asian table. And that same thing happens with redheads because typically there's so few of us that, like, I always ended up at kind of like the weird kid table naturally.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because of my personality. It was just like, well, he's different. He has freckles. He has red hair. He has braces and glasses. Like all those different things combined together. And then that is usually then put back forth in the media. And so, like, those type of things, like, redheads have always been on the outside. We've then had it covered, in nationality. They'll say, oh, it's because you're Irish or because you're Scottish or because these other different things. It's like, no. You don't treat Irish people with black hair like this in our American society anymore.
Yeah.
This is a red-haired thing that also the English do. Like the English are really big on this weird shit when it comes to redheads. So, but because of that otherism, because we're used to being the only one in the room, when a black person walks into all white spaces, there is then a choice. And most redheads who are good people know what it's like to be the only one in the room. So typically we reach out early.
Yeah.
To, like, if they're the only black person or Hispanic or Asian or whatever, if you're the only one in a predominantly white space, we typically reach out because we know how weird it is to be the only one.
Yeah, like that meme.
What do you mean?
The video where it's like, you are freaking African Americans plus Mark because Mark fucks with us.
Yeah, we rocking with Mark because Mark's rocking with us. And the thing is in that meme audio,
Yeah.
Mark is a redhead.
Yeah.
Mark is legitimately a redhead. In that case, Mark is the only white person in the room.
Yeah.
And he is a red-haired person. And so the thing is Mark is already used to being the only Mark in the room.
Yeah, he's Mark.
Yeah, he's Mark. But that's what I mean. It's like there is a difference. Like I've never felt this. Whenever I hear that thing about like white supremacy or white pride, I'm always like really weirded out by it because I'm like, number one, you didn't do that.
Yeah.
You're trying to take historical choices or actions for all these different things, and you're trying to mix them all together, and then you can claim them, number one. But number two, I know that historically, and from my own personal experience, when everybody starts getting together and starts talking about whites, I'm almost automatically on the edge. If we're only whites, then I am immediately the other.
You're out, dude.
I'm immediately.
You're so not.
We're throwing rocks at me.
Oh.
And so like that is colorism though.
Yeah.
And colorism, which I've learned a lot about from the Black community, but also this is something that happens in South Asia, and things like that, is the idea of like, in the Black community for a long time, because of white supremacy, there was this, the lighter skin was treated better.
Yeah.
And then the darker skin, especially once you get into media portrayals, darker skin means bad.
Yeah.
And that is that type of thing. And that's a thing that we didn't know. We didn't put together that colorism about red hair and freckles and pale skin.
Yeah.
And Black people were confused about this. Because, and I've seen this from quite a few who were like, we thought redheads were the epitome of white beauty.
Yeah, they were like, aren't you guys the hottest?
Yeah, aren't you guys the hottest? And then again, it becomes one of those things where as we're sharing our trauma, we started to realize how much redheads and Black people have in common when it comes to this, because Black people are often fetishized and sexualized from a very, very young age. And so are redheads.
Yep.
Redheads are fetishized. And like, that's it's an ugly duckling thing that happens to redheads. And so in this, there's a thing where you're ugly, you have freckles, you're pasty, you have red hair. I mean, listen, I don't want to call her out too bad, but my mom, Magistra. Okay. So we were at the beach.
Okay.
I'm there.
At 4 p.m.
Yeah, we would only go late. We would only go late.
That's something I learned about your
It's a
family
real
early
thing.
on.
Like we went late in the evening, like more like as like when the lifeguards are getting ready to leave. That's when the redheads invade the beach.
You guys,
okay, because we're
I'm like
cloud cover.
Oh, we're going to the beach. Let's get there at 10 a.m.
We're like, are you trying to kill me?
Lunch.
You trying to? I've never eaten
And then
lunch
the whole
on the
family's
beach.
like, we're not going until after lunch. Maybe a nap.
No, I'm not. Absolutely not. I've never eaten a sandwich on the beach because, but
that's what the baby bells are for.
When you and I went to the beach with your friends were dying laughing because I literally built a tent.
Yeah.
And I was covered in sunblock. I looked like Marlon Brando from that one movie.
You looked like
The Island of
Zuckerberg on the
no. Do not compare me to Zuckerberg.
You looked like Zuck
on the weird paddle
with your
boat.
zinc oxide all over your face.
I was covered in that. I looked like Marlon Brando in The Island of Dr. Monroe. I was there with my big hat and my sunglasses painted white.
Bring me a seltzer.
So I was, and I was like, I never went to the beach at noon until I was with you. And like your skin, you're like, oh, okay, I put on some nice stuff. And then your friends, you're out there with your Puerto Rican friends are turning new shades. And I'm underneath there just like, they're trying to kill me. No. As the sun started moving, I started turning the tent. It's a reverse sundial.
And I'm like, I guess we should reapply our SPF 30.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm pulling out.
We better go rub some more zinc oxide on that man.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm pulling out SPF's Avogadro's number, just coating myself.
I buy it in the big
But anyway,
big pump.
So when I was 12, and my sibling was closer to 10, we went to the beach, and we used to always stay at a big hotel. Big beach hotel, know, like I know like a lot of people, some people go to the beach and they stay at a house a block or two away. My family really liked to stay at a beachfront hotel with a balcony.
Yeah.
And I turned to my mom and said, we want to go down to the beach. Are you going to come down and watch us?
Yeah.
Because at the time on TV, there was a lot of stuff about like, don't let your kids get out there.
Yeah. The undercurrent's going to get them.
No, not the undercurrent.
Oh, the kidnappings.
Yeah, they're going to snatch them.
Yeah.
They're coming for your sexy
Did
children.
you have to make a VHS tape?
What?
Did we talk about this before?
No.
About a VHS? So when I was growing up, kidnapping was like such a thing that me and all my friends, we had to like go to like, it was kind of like picture day, but it was record a video in case you're kidnapped day. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No. What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, so so everybody in my class.
What? In your class?
Yeah, like my school class in like 2nd grade or whatever. We all had to go in and sit in front of a camera, and they recorded like, this is my name, this is my address, this is my phone number. I'm this tall. I have, my features, blonde hair, blue eyes, or whatever.
I feel like you're giving a list.
Yeah.
This is like giving a list of like, here's all the information you need to kidnap me.
No, but then you had the VHSs that you took them home, if you ever got kidnapped, that was what was sent into Action News to play. Missing child, Mrs. Pearlmania's missing, and then they'd play this VHS on the news, and so you'd be like, this is the little child they're looking for. And so we all had these VHSs. You guys didn't have these?
No. Oh my God. You lived in a war zone.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with Northeast Philadelphia?
I did get asthma from the garbage. So
yeah,
I feel like...
okay. Yeah, there was a garbage strike which gave you asthma. Okay, so hold on. I want you to know
Tell
something.
me more about how you were oppressed, red-haired man.
Okay. You broke Mr. Third. I have all this in my mind of kids are being kidnapped, and in many cases, they're being molested and things like that, and these things would happen. And so I'm there with my sibling, who's also young, and I'm like, we want to go down to the beach. And my mom went, go ahead. And we said, aren't you going to come with us so you can watch us? And she said, I can watch you from up here. I'll watch you from the balcony. I'll look out from the balcony. I'm like, and I looked at her. I said,
she's going to read a book.
I said, Mom, this is the 12th floor. And she goes, yeah. You think I can't spot the 2 pale redheads on the beach of beautiful tanned people? And I said, Mom, what if somebody kidnaps us to molest us? And my mom looked me dead in the eyes and she said, no one wants to molest you. And like that internalized. I can't explain to you how deep that went. Hey, you made it to the end of this clip from one of our full episodes. Do you want to see the whole episode? Go down to the show notes right here and go click on the link and you can watch the whole thing. Or are you looking for more Too Many Tabs content? If you haven't already liked and subscribed, check out this playlist right here. It has all of our episodes that we've uploaded to YouTube. Check us out. Too Many Tabs.
Pearlmania, Pearlmania.